Hey everyone, I'm Curtis,
And I'm Shank.
and you're listening to the Good Buds Podcast.
Let's burn some.
Welcome to the Good Buds Podcast, the show where good buds smoke good buds and talk about them. This is episode 2, airing Monday, August 24th, 2020, on Spotify, YouTube, and Anchor. Thanks for joining us.
Today's episode is brought to you by Absolutely Fictional Online College, the college where you can't learn anything. Just give $1,000 straight up to this random email address and you'll receive a piece of paper with your credentials. You can get degrees in things such as fake finance, fake internet points, and fake boobs. Don't forget, sign up by clicking on the link in the description below, which absolutely won't be there.
Nice to see my old alma mater getting some good shout-outs. So, how are you doing today, Shank?
Oh man, I'm fantastic today, brother. I had a good day, nice and relaxing. I didn't have a whole lot to do, so I didn't get a whole lot done. How about you?
Pretty much same here.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Good, easy day. You didn't work a little bit and stuff like that. I hear you.
I did get
That's
some
pretty great.
new strains today that we should definitely check out. But before we do
heck yeah.
that, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you like what we're doing, check us out on Patreon and consider donating to the show. We will be adding reward tiers in the future.
Hell yeah, bro. So let's get to the review.
Good Buds Review, Good Buds.
So Curtis, what are you burning today?
Well, Shank, today I am burning the strain Gelato. Gelato is a very good hybrid, some relatively exotic stuff in my opinion. It's got this really interesting appearance to it where it's like a dark green leaf with purple tips.
Oh, I love purple.
But
purple and
what's really standing out here is the hairs. The hairs are these very vibrant orange that kind of contrast the purple and the green really nicely.
yeah, like
And
prison jumpsuit orange, kind of.
a little bit, yeah. And the entire thing is surrounded with this nice layer of crystals all the way around.
Candy coating.
Oh, yes. In terms of the smell, now this is where it gets weird. Because a strain like this, you'd expect to have that very strong, very pungent marijuana
Yeah,
smell
like punchy
right
in
in
the
your
nose.
face.
Yeah.
It really doesn't have that. It has this very light pine scent to it. It's got this very strong, earthy umami smell to it, like a very small, earthy tone to it. But other than that,
Nice.
it's not like a hit you in the face with weed. Like, this is
Yeah,
something
it's
you
not.
could probably double bag and get away with walking through security.
Oh, nice, man. I always love strains like that. You know, they low smell, high potency. It's always a nice situation to find yourself in.
Oh, yeah. So, what do you got for us today?
Oh, well, today I am smoking on some Critical Kush. It's a nice indica. I think it's Critical Mass and OG Kush mixed together. They had a nice little baby. It's not a whole lot to look at, this weed. It's kind of weird. It's like almost like a kind of muted olive green. And it's like very dry looking fluffy nugs that are just not huge, but not little. Gorgeous red hair. The red hair on it, it's not as vibrant orange necessarily. It's more of a like like a red tone, you know, like it's not the orange, but like it's a nice reddish orange. And the colors overall are very muted. It doesn't really have when you look at it, you would think it's not a whole lot to look at, really. It's just one of those weeds that has
Right.
very light crystal dusting, but it smells really, really good. Unlike yours, it doesn't have that low weed smell. When you smell it, you definitely go, that is marijuana. That is some strong cannabis. But when you smell it, it hits you with the smell of pine. You know, like a Christmas tree. Like very, like if you burn, like if you've ever, I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but we used to have a
Very
yearly
strong.
tradition of burning our Christmas trees.
Oh, yeah. Very strong.
That pine Christmas tree smell. So it's got very subtle earth notes. Not really enough that I'd note it like big time. Like it's more of just kind of like a background smell, with a very slight hint of like a lemony citrus underneath it, with a very strong floral. Like if you put this into a bouquet of
Right.
flowers, it wouldn't feel out of place. It would look kind of boring for the bouquet, but the smell would be absolutely fantastic. So like I absolutely love it. So what I think that these nugs are going to be on our Instagram. If you want to check it out, there's a link in the description below. We'll have pictures of all of the nugs that we smoke down there in the description. You click on the link, subscribe to our Instagram, follow us or whatever. And I think we should try it out. What do you think?
I think that sounds a great idea. Letters out.
Sweet. Let's burn them.
Burn 'em.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh.
Oh, fuck yeah. Mm.
Mm.
Oh, that's good. Oh man, that's good, buddy. Oh man. So, buddy,
Oh.
how's yours tasting?
So, right off the bat, it's definitely not like the smell. It definitely hits you strong and hard with this very nice floral flavor at first.
Nice, nice.
Very nice, very tasty, almost like Home Depot section, but away from the pesticides, like the opposite corner. You know what corner I'm
Nice.
talking
Yeah, I know
about.
what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, the
um,
tomato, not the tomato section, but the flower section.
exactly. So,
Yeah,
yeah, kind of gives you that with a nice piney aftertone that kind of just glides right through with it. And first reactions is I can immediately feel like kind of like up back of the spine to the base of the head, base of the neck,
nice.
feeling in my brain
Yeah,
a little bit, and I'm
a
liking it.
little lift up.
Like just that nice
Nice,
little perk, just happiness. Nice. I like
nice.
it.
Yeah, sweet
Uh,
man. That's
how
great.
about you? What's it tasting like on your end?
Well, mine definitely it kicks that pine scent into overdrive. Like we're talking extra. It goes extra. But and those subtle lemon hints from before that were over top of the floral hints, it's up in the forefront now. Very citrusy. You smoke it, it gives you that full citrus. Like you might as well be burning a lemon. The smoke is heady. It is thick. It is some thick smoke. And like it hits you hard on the going in, hits you hard coming out. You feel like you've taken a big hit when you take a hit of it. I've got a little bit of that tingle as well, that brain, like that when you know you've taken a big hit and you're not going to need to wait for 5 minutes before it kicks in and kind of punches you. Like
Right.
I'm getting that, and it's beautiful, man. I'm loving it. I assume, do you have the review sites loaded up there?
Yeah, I do right here.
Sweet man. What are we looking at? What are people saying on the review sites about these strains? I'm interested in other people's opinion too.
So according to the review sites we've been looking at, it's seeming like the general conception of gelato is that it gives off a euphoric high that makes you both relaxed and happy. Which
Nice.
is, in my opinion, pretty standard with a hybrid. But it
Yeah.
also gives you more of this creative vibe that people have been saying they've
Oh,
been experiencing.
the
Uh,
sativa heavy hand. Yeah, I
oh
like
yeah.
that.
On the other hand, Critical Kush, being an indica, obviously, will leave you feeling calm, relaxed, and sleepy. So probably a good weed for before bed, I'm thinking.
Nice, nice. If I fall asleep at any point, just digitally prod me with a stick, and I'll wake up.
I'll scream very loudly. Sorry
That'll
for
work
everybody
great.
wearing headphones. I'll try
Yeah,
to give you a
sorry.
warning.
Rip headphones users. But yeah, that's awesome, man. That's beautiful. Like that sounds pretty. I'm gonna wait and see how the reaction hits me and see if it matches up with that
Oh
description.
yeah.
Obviously, everybody's
Well,
gonna be affected differently. That's the beautiful thing about this podcast
exactly.
and other review sites and stuff like that, is that you get to see a broad spectrum of how it affects different people. So,
As always,
but
everyone has their own opinions, and we're just reading off the internet and telling you ours, adding to the internet.
absolutely, absolutely.
And with that being said,
Yeah. What time is it, Curtis?
it's 4:20 somewhere, bro. And
That's right, man.
I gotta join a gelato sitting right here.
And I got a joint of this critical sitting right here ready for me to light it up. Let's
Toke toke skaboke.
toke toke skaboke, brother. Mm-hmm. Oh, buddy. Doesn't that feel good to light?
Oh yeah. Today I'm
I love
burning out
that.
of a classic zigzag white paper.
Ah, nice. Nice. I'm burning out of an OCB Expert thin paper. These things have been around for an entire over a century. OCB has been making papers. They started in 1918.
Really?
In 1918, they started making tobacco papers,
Just
and
crazy.
2018 was when they celebrated their first century. That's nuts. 1 century. I mean, over in Europe, they got countries that like companies that have probably been around for hundreds of years, but
Oh
that's
yeah.
pretty nuts, man.
I think
But speaking
I
of
don't e-
companies,
I don't even have any
oh, go ahead.
packages of cigarettes anymore from uh like Winston's and stuff like that from back
Mm,
overseas. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm sure those companies have been in business for
Oh,
probably way
jeez.
longer.
forever, man. But speaking of companies and being in business and fucking forever, um, setting up our social media was crazy.
Oh
We've
yeah.
done like it was insane. It was nuts, man. Like we like it's what was it? We got Spotify,
Anchor,
Instagram, Anchor,
Instagram, YouTube,
yeah,
Facebook,
Facebook,
Twitter.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
Twitter. Oh man, like it was a lot of work putting like putting all of that like just we've done it so many times. Like I mean, I know you've done it for
oh
like
yeah.
you got 2 YouTube channels and Facebook and everything else and that kind of thing. I mean, I've done it a million times, but whenever you're starting a new online endeavor, it's insane the amount of work that you have to like
You have to
just
do
like
just to
yeah.
claim your name everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because you don't want to you don't want on the off chance that you do get any attention, you don't want some random person coming along and claiming you on like Reddit, for example. Like we've got Good Buds podcast on Reddit now. Like that's like because
Exactly.
if we didn't, someone might listen to the podcast and be like, "Oh man, I want to try to get that as my username," and then they would, and
Right.
it's yeah,
And
it's
that's, the off chance somebody listens to your stuff and they're like, "Oh, we want that." But then
mm,
there's the opposite where like kind of like what we're doing now, where you get every name possible and then you go
yeah,
nowhere with it. Which
exactly,
I hope
and that's fine.
I hope we do go somewhere with it, obviously, but it's good to be prepared for it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, exactly that, and it's preparation. I guess is the main point of that whole thing, right? Is like you got to kind of if you're gonna do any kind of endeavor, you don't want to half-ass it.
Exactly.
It's like Ron Swanson said, don't half-ass 2 things, whole-ass 1 thing.
Exactly. You need
And
to prepare
yeah,
for stuff so you don't half-ass it. We need preparation H. Wait a minute.
no, no,
Uh,
no, no. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's yeah. If anybody out there in digital voice land is suffering from hemorrhoids, do not trust preparation A through G. Preparation H is the only way to go. It's called preparation H because it feels good on the whole. All right.
Preparation A is for asthma. Preparation B is for bubonic plague. Preparation C is for cataracts.
I thought it was bronchitis.
I
I got
got the
bronchitis.
bronchitis.
I know what I got time for that.
Oh man.
Oh shit! I hope we don't get sued. She's like, well, she's not gonna sue us. Sweet,
Please.
sweet Brown. She's not
Anyway,
gonna sue
she's
us.
sweet.
But
She's sweet.
yeah,
Brown.
she's
Anyway.
sweet right in her. But anyway,
Anyway.
yeah, like so, man, I
Yeah,
was
the social
really,
medias.
yeah, I was like stoked that we could, get all set up and everything. And Anchor FM is fantastic. If you're starting a podcast, go on to Anchor FM. It's really cool. They'll automatically distribute for you to like Spotify and to like Apple Music and stuff like that, and you can get set up through them to like distribute to other platforms. But they're also a very good platform for listening yourself. We're not sponsored by them. If you want to sponsor us, that's fine. I'm just saying, but we're not sponsored by them. We just think that it's a pretty cool platform. So if you're interested in podcasts in the future, you guys check it out. Do it.
Absolutely.
Do it.
Absolutely. Uh Now, there is one thing that even though I'm relative like as a somewhat a millennial, I am obviously familiar with like Facebook and the Instagrams and stuff like that.
Local
I don't have
places.
my
Yeah,
own
local places.
Instagram, but I'm familiar. But
Yeah.
just the one that I personally never got into and never understood was Twitter.
I
Like
don't think you can understand Twitter. I don't. I use it, but I don't understand it.
like I get it. It's like really fast information and stuff, but it's like they they do that on like Facebook and that was already
Yeah.
there. Like I get it. It's a different, but it's the
The one
same.
thing that throws me off the most about Twitter, the one thing that really like messes me up the most, is the fact that posts chronologically like are they're weird. Like when you click on someone's comment, like the replies will be above it. Like for example, like if you posted something and I wanted to reply to what you said, so I said like retweet with the response or whatever,
It
and I
would be
typed my
above it.
response in and posted it, my response would be first and then your post would be second.
Yeah, I
So it
get
would be
that
like
shit.
it would
But
be like so it would be like what you said then what I'm replying to, and if you replied back to me it would show like basically your reply, what I said, then the original post. And it's just like chronologically it messes with me, and that's what I don't like. So mostly I use it for posting.
see,
If anybody of
the part
our
about it,
fans comments, I will reply to you.
See, the part of
at
it
least
that
in
I don't
Denver.
exactly like is the part of, you what's the thing? Like on
Trump
Facebook,
uses it.
no. Let's say you're on Facebook and then you'll
Yeah,
see a post from somebody on Facebook and the post from Twitter sounds fucking hilarious. It looks funny and
yeah,
all that stuff. So it's like,
yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna go on Twitter. And the one time I made my
Mm,
personal Twitter account, I go on there and I start looking at all this stuff and it's like, okay, this is ads and bullshit. What the fuck? What the hell?
yeah,
This is stupid. No. Nope.
yeah.
I'm outie. I will.
No, I can
I mean,
understand that. And
at least on Facebook, I still have people who I kind of have met in real life at some point, or
yeah,
actual friends that I have. But,
yeah. No,
you know,
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I can definitely smell what you're stepping in when it comes to that because I mean, I feel like that about Instagram because I'm not much of a visual guy. Like I'm an audio artist. Like I like music and sound and stuff like that. And Instagram is so full of so many talented people and some people who are very good at pretending to be talented through Photoshop.
oh yeah,
And and well, even then, Photoshop, I guess, is a different skill set talent. So if you can manipulate a photo to look more substantially more impressive than it actually is, then kudos to you. That's
you
still
know what?
art. But I can't get into it. I can't post. Like I don't take first and foremost selfies. You need to like how you look. I think I know that I'm not unattractive as a person, but I don't personally enjoy looking at myself. So I don't take selfies ever. And I'm not going to take pictures of like nature because everybody's got nature all around them. If they want to see it, they should go outside.
Open their eyes, look.
Yeah, open their eyes and walk out. Oh, if you don't want to go outside, there's these wicked things that like some dude invented a long time ago that you've got in your house called windows, and you can look out them. It's really cool if you want to see nature, right? So I don't have anything that I feel like I can contribute to Instagram, but with this page, at least with this podcast, now we can contribute pictures of our strains, and if any of our fans have like weed art or something like that that they want to share with us, they can definitely share that with us.
Or share with us
And
some of your
and
favorite strains, and we can see if
yeah,
we can
or
get a hold of them.
yeah, exactly. Or they can share their favorite strains and that kind of thing. And so using social media in that capacity, I'm okay with. Like I'm totally okay with like going on Twitter so that if we have anybody listening to this podcast right now that wants to reach out to us, that would be really cool, by the way. We'd be cool with it. We're not going to be all like, oh, we don't want to talk to people. We are open with our fans. We will communicate with you guys. So even if you're not a fan, if you hate us, we'll communicate with you. We don't mind. We like to talk to people.
It still puts us
But
in the algorithm.
yes, exactly. Still puts this in the algorithm, right? So just yeah,
just
interact,
just
people.
add us, bro.
Interact.
We don't
Yeah,
care.
interact. Like and that's the thing is, this is I guess is a good time to say it's if you like, comment, subscribe, like that kind of thing. I know a lot of YouTubers and podcasters ask you to do that, and that it's like you're like, oh god, here they go again. But it really does help out, because it doesn't cost a thing for you. We're not charging you anything unless you want to go to our Patreon and donate out of the goodness of your heart. Rewards coming later, right, Curtis?
Exactly.
Yeah, rewards coming later. Um, then it's free for you, and overall, it helps us out a lot. So we would appreciate it and love you. Well, we'll like you. We'll like you at first. Once we get to know you, then we might. Love is it's a big thing.
Regardless, you're our buds. We're all
You're
buds
our
here.
buds. We're all buds here.
We're all
Just
buds here.
it's like if you subscribe, you will be an official bud.
You're a bud.
Like you are one of the buds. Like
What's up,
so,
buds?
like it's yeah. What's up, buds? Now keep in mind, just like the beautiful, beautiful cannabis plants, buds can come in any gender. Any gender.
Why you gotta bring it
So
like that, man?
it's,
Like
it's important. It's important to mention.
you have automatically gentrified our audience just by bringing this up, Shane.
Well, this is good because polarized topics are not bad, but this is something that I believe in.
Nobody
People can
cares
do what
about
they wanna
photos
do.
from the 90s anymore.
Yeah, nobody cares about 90s photos. Look at this photograph.
Look
now
at
we're gonna
this
get-
photograph.
Now we've got Nickelback on here, and we're talking about gender. Fuck, man, people are gonna hate this podcast.
Hey, Nickelback is making a comeback, and come to think of it, Polaroids are making a comeback. So actually,
You're
we're
not.
kind of good.
We're ahead of the curve. Shit,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do now. It's like when you're
Well,
playing
I don't.
Fall Guys and you're
I
doing
wouldn't
that
say
with tiptoe
Nickelback is
on.
making a comeback. They're just releasing a new album, I should say.
Well, yeah. And what I think is hilarious is that the entire time that people have been making fun of them, they've been like touring the world and like selling out their like shows and like playing stadiums and stuff like that. And like Chad Kroger just finds it hilarious. He's
The more
like
you
he's been
hate
asked
him, the
so many
more people
times.
like him.
Yeah, he's been asked so many times in interviews, like, how do you feel about the internet making a joke out of Nickelback and like basically calling Nickelback the worst band ever? And he's like, I'm crying about it while I fall asleep on piles of money.
Ballin'.
He's like, yeah, he's like, oh, I'm just crying myself to sleep, surrounded by beautiful women and money.
I'm just wiping
Like,
my tears with Benjamins.
I know, right? Like he doesn't care at all, and I'm not. And that's
At
the
that
funny thing
point,
is,
I wouldn't either.
as an artist though, I'm the same way. My music, like frankly, I don't really ultimately care if people like it or don't. Like I don't like when I make something, I'm making it for the people who will like it or the people who might kind of like it.
Right.
Like
It's the
I'm not,
same thing with this
and by that
podcast.
it's me. Yeah,
Same thing
same
with
with
this
this podcast.
podcast. Not everybody smokes weed. Not everybody cares.
No,
But hey,
no,
if you do, whatever. We're two dudes. We're
yeah,
just chilling. You want to chill with us? Yeah, well, you
yeah.
come and
And
chill
if
with us.
you
What's up? We'll smoke the
and you know
weeds.
what,
You don't got to. If you want
yeah,
to, you can.
if you want to hang out and not smoke weed and just listen to two dudes, just just two buds
If
talk
you
to each
just want to
other,
prove
then
the stereotype that
yeah,
stoners just sit on their ass and bullshit, I mean, hey, what's up?
we're a great example. We are a fantastic example. Just share this with your
Howdy.
friends and family. If you wanna make your point through some kind of vitriol film filled meme that stoners are lazy and everything else, please
Howdy.
use this as use this as an example. That's fine. That's all right. I mean, it's cool. That's 100%. I mean, you
Yeah.
can forget entirely about the amount of time it takes and effort it takes to record, edit, and upload any kind of media, and the fact that both of us have multiple sources of that. That's the ignore it conveniently. Please ignore that because we are lazy. We're just sitting here shooting the shit and
Anyway.
talking about things. We are talking
Anyways.
about things. Like we were just shooting
Yeah.
the shit, man. Oh, dude, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So how's your stuff hitting you right now, brother?
Oh,
You feeling anything yet?
I'm definitely feeling the happy, the uplifting. I'm definitely happity peppity a little bit today.
Yeah, that's
Happity-poo.
good. I'm liking that.
How
Yeah,
about
nice
you,
little
man?
peppy. Nice little. I'm definitely starting to get into the early stages of couch log. My voice might not like, I mean, my speaking and everything else, and the fact that I continue to jabber like a madman.
You're talking fast because your body is slowly draining
Yeah,
away,
yeah,
so your brain can go quickly.
might belie it. Like my speech might not belie the fact that I am currently like slowly sinking further and further into the chair I'm sitting in. But it's not in a bad way. I don't feel like I've lost the energy. I just feel like I don't want to use it right now. Like I feel like I could probably get up and run a lap or something and be absolutely fine. And I could more than likely, if I was playing, like I can still focus sharply and acutely. You know what I mean? Like that
Right.
kind of
Right.
acute focus. And so it's like it feels like it's just one of those relaxing weeds. Like my body is nice and relaxed. If I was in any pain before this episode, which I wasn't because I was already medicated before,
Lol.
non-chemical medications, boys and girls. I though, if your doctor gives you antibiotics or shit, trust your doctors. Trust your doctors. But for aches and pains, if it's just general aches and pains, marijuana can handle it.
Oh yeah.
If it's just general aches and pains, you do not need daily narcotic medicine to stop your pain. Like you can trust me.
Say
Trust me.
no to opioids.
Yeah,
They're
say no to
bad for you.
opioids.
They're
Unless
bad for you.
short term doctor prescribed use, and if you can recommend your doctor try something, just trust me. Just it's all good.
Okay, we don't need
Yeah.
to go.
We don't need a whole
We're
spiel.
not
We don't need a whole
We're not
spiel. I'm
fucking
not a fucking
doctor.
doctor.
What the fuck are we
I'm not a
talking
fucking doctor. All I
So
gotta
no-
say is that I have no, like, if I had any aches and pains, like normally I've got like a bad knee which kind of hurts and like a bit of a back problem and stuff like that. That kind of aches a little bit.
So say what you're
if-
trying to say is
yeah.
you goods.
I feel good. I feel good. It's nice and relaxed. Like everything is easy, man. Everything is easy.
Uh, so have you played any Fall Guys today?
Oh man, not today, but like after you signed off last night, man, I played for a little while. I
Oh,
did not win. I did not win, unfortunately.
uh,
That was, I think, a one-time occurrence for me, at least for now. But
yeah.
man, that game is so ridiculously fun, is it
Oh,
not?
oh
Like,
yeah. I absolutely love that game. Like,
dude, it's
it just brings me back to those old days of playing Mario Party back on GameCube. Like, it
oh,
really
I
just gives me
know.
that like fun mini game vibe. They're
Yeah, that little
adding
make you
to it.
hate your friends.
Yeah, they're adding to it. It's a nice online interactive multiplayer. Like I'm liking it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
community and the developers are always talking with the community. So yeah, I'm really
Yeah,
liking
they're
the
really
game. Not
they've been
sponsored,
really
but
good for that. Like no, yeah, not sponsored, but if they want to, that's okay. They
mm,
can fire us an
but
email
yeah,
there. No,
it's a fun
but no,
game.
I agree. And what I love the most about that game, man, is it is bright and colorful. It is fun. It's like like I've been playing a lot of games lately they're just getting grittier and grittier, which is cool. I like it. I do. I love like visceral, violent, impactful stories, like that kind of thing. I love that. But every now and then, like you said, you need that Mario Party
Right, you need
vibe.
that Mario Party. That was
Yeah,
my
and
initial. That was my initial thing that got me into Fortnite. It was a completely different style
yeah,
of shooter game. Even though it was a shooter, it was completely cartoony. Like
yeah, it
everything
was
was
bright and
bright,
colorful
colorful,
and jazzy and
bouncy.
fun. Yeah, and I agree. I agree. It had that springiness to it, that cartoons have, and that's what I like about Fall Guys because it reminds me a lot of other games I like Gang Beasts.
Oh
I
yeah.
love Gang Beasts, and it reminds me a lot of that, and it reminds me a lot of like Human Fall Flat and the parcel
But
delivery service
and
one,
Little Big Planet,
Little Big Planet. Yeah, like those kind of physics based,
just
just
fun.
fun, bright, colorful games that are made to be like poppy and like cartoony, and I like it. Like
Doesn't
I love
matter how
that
old
look,
you
that
are.
aesthetic.
It doesn't matter. It's always a fun
I
game.
know.
And
I know, and that's
the
if you
competitive
say you
aspect of
aged
it
out
be
of cartoons, that's baloney. That's like saying you aged out of fun. You can't age out of fun. Like you
absolutely.
can if you give up on fun, that's how you age out of fun. But if you get older, there's nothing saying that you're not allowed. The best thing is about getting old is that you care less about what people tell you you're not allowed to do. So you just kind of like they're like, oh, cartoons are for kids, and if you like watching cartoons, you're watching them. Who's gonna tell
Absolutely.
you not to? It's my house. so
But
so like
yeah,
yeah, and I
with
love that cartoony fun.
exactly.
Like
Now, and the best part is it does add that extra competitive aspect of yeah, you are
mm,
still competing against your friends who could be
big
sitting
time.
next to you on the couch. They could be, multiplayer, sitting around. I know you and I play together and obviously we're in different countries.
Absolutely, and it's great because most of the time, it's almost like we're because it's a battle royale style. It's almost like we're competing on our own, but we're just kind of hanging out with each other.
Exactly.
And
We're
the
still against each
developers they
other,
do
but
need to
we're
fix.
also against,
Yeah, and
you
we're
know,
watching each other, but we're against everyone else. So we would stand like if there's only 5 slots left for our people to finish, I would stand up against other players so that you have a better chance of getting to the finish line. And we would work together and like we would talk to each other and communicate about where to go. And I love that. It's fun, right? And they
sometimes
are
it's only
working.
one sometimes it's only one of us left at the end and it's just like,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
boy,
and we're
we're
just
rooting
watching you
for
and
you.
cheering you on.
Like
And it's
the one time
yeah,
that both of us won, literally the best time both of us won.
absolutely.
I won the first game, and then the next game
I had died the
immediately
second
after
round,
that,
I think.
yeah, I believe
Like
so.
I died like the second round, and I was just watching you win.
The second,
Like it was
the next
great.
round we played, I died in the second round, and Shank ended up winning.
Yeah, and it was awesome. Like
It was
because we
incredible.
the whole time we were just cheering each other on. Like just and then we were watching each other like rock through the levels and like manage to make it to the end and win. And it's great. And but the one what I was going to say before is the developers are currently working on the multiplayer thing. I remember I saw something that they had tweeted on the much hated tweeter. They had said that they're currently working on their multiplayer features because as it stands, when you're in a party with people, you don't automatically spectate them if you get eliminated. They're going to fix that so that you do. So that's like awesome.
Nice.
They're
Oh yeah.
confirmed they're working on it. So like if anybody has a complaint about that with the game, they are working on fixing that, which is going to be awesome. And they're also working on a better way to spectate, or to not to spectate. What am I looking for? To like start near each other and to stay near each other in the ending grid, the Plinko grid at the end
Yeah.
of the matches.
Like
They're
in the
working,
cubicles.
yeah, little cubes like the little Hollywood Squares thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the end there, the little Hollywood Squares thing, they're working on making it so that parties are grouped together in there as well, so that it's easier to keep track of your party mates and
That would be
everything else.
cool.
So, which is really cool, and a ton of other features too, right? Like they're doing bug fixes, adding new levels and all kinds of stuff, and I'm really looking forward to whatever they add to it because
I always
the
love when
developers seem.
I always love when I go on there and they have a new level that I've never seen before, or
I
it's
know.
even better when it's an old level that I'm now seeing for the first time.
I
But
know, yeah, yeah, because
yeah,
they do
just
randomize, and the randomization truly is like random, but they just
completely.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes you'll play the same rounds 3 rounds in a row, but that again is the nature of randomness. The nature of
Sometimes you get
randomness
the
is that
seesaw, sometimes you get
sometimes, yeah,
fruit shooter, and sometimes you get the
yeah,
dreaded whirligig. Ha ha
the
ha.
whirly gig, oh,
It'll
the
flip
evil
you, it'll
whirly
flop
gig.
you, it'll throw you around, it'll file your taxes wrong. It is the whirligig. Watch
It's
out for
true.
it.
I once heard the whirly gig will burn your house down and lock the doors, but leave one window open so that you can only save like a couple members of your family, but not all of them. And the whirligig, apparently, while it's doing this, will be eating at Little Caesars, having a cheeseless, meatless pizza.
Bro, that's dark.
I know, bro. Hey, I could have said Domino's.
Bro, that's pure fucking evil.
Well, I mean, I didn't know where I was going with that when I started, and I kind of like where it ended up.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm in a worse place, but the
It's
whirligig isn't a bad
existential.
level. It's just like
Yeah.
every time you're trying to go on that level fast, it's like, nah,
Yeah. You need to do it smart.
nah,
Like you need to do it smart, but even when you do it smart, the problem is that everybody else panics on that level.
and
And
just
since everybody panics,
they just
you're
World War
going and you're doing great.
that
You're doing
it's
great.
literally for a second there at the beginning, it's World War
Yep.
Z simulator.
It's true. It's true. And you're doing great.
Just
Like you're
you
honestly,
and a
you can be
horde just
zipping along and you're like,
throwing.
yeah, buddy, I got a nice line here. I'm going to go. I'm hopping at the right time. Yeah, I jumped right over that pink spinny bitch. I'm going. I got perfect timing here. I'm going to jump this gap, made the gap. I'm going. And then some dude gets yeeted from across the map from one of those things that smacks
Smacks
him.
into you.
And he goes flying through the air, whaps into you, and knocks you off the edge. And now you're back with the other schlubs at the back of the line. And you're like, man, are you kidding? I was in the front. And then you get to the thing and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to make it. And then you try to jump through. You're like, maybe this time. Maybe
My
this time I'll
favorite
get
is
through.
my favorite though is on Gate Crash
Oh yeah.
or Door God damn it. I get them confused
Door
now
crash,
because
gash, bash.
they are both named wrong and right at the same time, and it's
I
weird
know.
because
Like DoorDash should be called Door Bash or Door Crash.
yeah, because you
And
crash through doors
Gate Crash should be called Gate Dash.
because you dash through doors that open and close, so
That
you got to
open, yeah.
dash through
The
them.
doors open, you need to dash through.
I get it. They
But
wanted to keep
they call it,
alliteration and
no.
they wanted to make it clever and everything, but in reality, they messed up on
They
gold
could have, yeah,
opportunities
they
on
done
those
goofed.
names. They goofed
They
on them
done goofed.
names.
They
But
goofed. But
no,
yeah,
the one I'm talking about is Door Dash, which is the one where you have to crash through doors.
the
Some of
fake
them are
door or the
real and
real
some of
door.
them are
Yeah,
fake.
and you get that really really
Now,
sad punk sound when you hit the wrong one.
exactly. Now, the best part is when everybody's just full on piling through, and then finally, out of all the doors, like all two of them are next to each other and on one side. So you literally have this huge mass of, you know,
It is just horde
if
of
it's at the
bodies.
beginning, then like 60, 40 to 50, 60 people all trying to cram through one or two doors. It's sometimes it's terrifying,
It's messy. It's messy.
and other
It's even
times you
better though
somehow
when you're,
slither through there, get to the front, and you just
yeah.
burst out the front. Like I don't know how it happened, but it did. Bail.
And what I always say is there's 4 situations that can happen, or 5 situations total, 5 total possible situations when it comes to the final door of DoorDash. Possibility 1 is the best case scenario. It's if you are in front of everybody, you hit that last door and it opens, and you end up in the front of the line in front of the whole horde, which gives you also the best view of the scenario because then you can turn around and see the wedge hit the door and everybody just kind of struggling and bubbling like some kind of liquid before they pop through to the other side.
Right.
That's scenario 1. Scenario 2 of the 5 is that you can get surfed through. This is the second best scenario, where you end up somewhere near the front third of the wave and you get pushed out the front when they go through the doorway. Basically, the mass of all the bodies behind you,
Yeah. You
coincidentally
get pushed,
bump
ejected.
you and you get thrown through, and it knocks you on your ass, but you can get up and run. That's like second best scenario. But you want to run because there's going to be people right behind you. But the third scenario is getting caught in the fucking middle. You get stuck in the middle of that crowd and everybody's going and you keep getting knocked over and grabbed and everything else and jostled around to the point where you're stuck in the middle and you have to go through with the main bulk of people, which is like really crazy.
You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. It's not great. This is the first of the bad scenarios, not necessarily the worst of the scenarios.
Right.
But bad scenario. The worst of the scenarios, in my opinion, is the fourth one. The fourth scenario is where you get surfed out the back of it. You get stuck in the back third, and basically when it hits the doorway, all of the people hitting the doorway together and getting knocked over hits you.
You keep getting pushed over, grabbed back, and pulled
pushed
back.
over, grabbed back, and thrown backwards out of the mass. Like, basically, you go backwards out the back of it while everybody else is going through the doorway, and you're stuck so that you know everyone's getting through before you get through because you can't get over or through them.
At that point, yeah, you're screwed. There's already too much of a mass.
Unless people, unless they fall down or they're through, you can't do a thing.
Or you somehow like magic, like
jump over, which is a possibility. Like, there is a possibility to like jump over and like manage to like worm your way around and through, but it's an extremely difficult thing to do. Not reliable.
I'm just imagining one fall guy just freewheeling himself over this entire pile of bodies. And then falling 20 feet onto a floor and then winning.
Why do I keep going to the Jurassic Park theme song when it comes to epic themes? And I'm thinking of tonight, Jesus Christ.
Stop, man. Jeff Goldblum is getting to you, bro.
Goldblum got to me. He's not getting to me. Goldblum is deeply ingrained within me now.
Dude, he ingrained even further into it in a movie I saw recently.
Oh, nice, loving it. But yeah, man. But it's crazy because like, unless you get stuck in that fourth scenario, like where you get knocked out the back, unless there's some kind of miracle happens, you're not getting to the front. You might finish, but you probably won't. And the last scenario, the fifth scenario, which oddly enough is not the worst scenario sometimes, is where you're so far behind everybody that you don't get stuck in that last door. So you're running up and dudes are already clusterfucked in that doorway, because if you get really lucky, which happens sometimes, I've had it happen to me a couple times, then those people all push through at the same time and they all get knocked down and it clears the doorway out, and you can literally just run and jump with the right timing so that you land on your feet in front of all of these people that are laying down, and then you can just keep running and you can qualify. Like, I mean, you can get through and qualify. Now, if everybody stands up at the bottom too fast, then
you're pretty screwed.
You're screwed in that position. But if they don't get up fast enough, or they mess with each other enough, which I found people messing with each other is probably a safe bet in Fall Guys, then that last situation isn't necessarily the worst situation to be in. The fourth situation where you get kicked out the back forcefully, that's like the worst situation to be in, hands down. Best scenario is when you're in the front and you make the right choice on the last one.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that's the best possible choice. Actually, I think that's the one that I got my first place finish, where I got the trophy where you emote in front of everybody.
Nice.
I think it was on that round because I made it through the last door and I picked right and I got to the finish line, and as I got to the finish line I pressed up on the D-pad so I'd do whatever emote that is. And I didn't even stop moving. I just literally pressed it because I almost forgot. And I was like, ah, crap. So I pressed it and I ran across the finish line. And I don't even think I had time to do the emote, but it counted it for the trophy. So I was like, sweet.
If it works, it works.
Yeah, if it's stupid and it works, it ain't stupid.
I still remember I was on the whirly gig and I got smacked up with one of the fans. Threw me up into the air. I fell down, landed on my head. And I'm like, oh, Okay, I got back up and then a trophy popped up. I'm like, what? And I guess
Yeah,
the
wait.
trophy is fall, or you have to fall for a total of 3 seconds and land on your head. So I guess I was high enough up in the air,
Yeah, you were high enough in
or
the air that you got
it
that trophy.
it started probably like when I got hit from the fan, so it's like one and a half
Yeah,
up
so
and
it
then one and a
counts
half
as you're
down.
going up, and yeah, it counts as you're coming down. But either way, 3 seconds of air time's not bad. Like that's pretty good. That's pretty
But
great. No, that's awesome, man. Yeah, like and it's just a like I just find it's a really fun game, you know. Like it's just one of those games that it's pretty well balanced. I mean, people can be toxic on it, but that's literally any game where there's any modicum of anonymity. Like people are going to be rude. There are
yeah,
always going to be those people out there that it's
just
their
want
only outlet. Like it's their only way to get that out of their system
they're the people
and to get their power.
they're the people who steal eggs on egg scramble. They're the people
Exactly.
who grab you at the end of Fall Mountain. These are the
Yeah.
people who just stand on the ends of seesaws.
Yeah, the people who
These
just, yeah, like these are the people who specifically stand at the finish line waiting for people to try to finish and grab them so that they can't make a jump, like so that they fall and fail. Like these are the people on tiptoe that grab you and push you off the edge on purpose to
these
try to
are
use you to see,
these
you
are the
know, like
people on the fruit matching one who stand on tiles that are clearly not the correct one, but then you go for it because you're a new player and you forgot about it because you were stoned, and then they jump off it and you're like, "Wait, what?" And then you fall to your death. I really can't complain. I'm the person who does that.
we're the ones who do that.
I know, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's filled with toxic players, and honestly, though, that's, in my opinion, part of the experience is dealing with those players because there are
even the
ways to
developer
mitigate it.
even the
Like even
developers
the yeah,
said that's part of the challenge is I
yeah,
mean the games themselves aren't really
dealing
all
with
that
humanity is
challenging.
part of the challenge. The
The
human element
the
is a
human
whole different
If I
random.
was running through all these courses by myself, it'd be no problem. Easy, no issue whatsoever. The fact that I
Yeah,
have to deal with roughly 59 other people in my way doing it also and trying to fuck me over, yeah, that's where the challenge
exactly,
comes in.
exactly, and that's exactly it. Because the way that I see it is a lot of the time a big complaint is about video games having crappy AI. You know, like if you're playing a racing game or a challenge game or something like that, if they made Fall Guys into a PvE game where basically like it was one player against a bunch of bots, it would be ridiculous because bots cannot possibly, no matter how good you make them, recreate the randomness that is humanity. You know, like you can't make a bot, stand at the finish line. Well, you can, but like you can't make a bot decide to do that or not decide to do that on a whim. You can't make a bot decide to, jump into another dude or chase it. Like it's like you can make them chase, you can make them run away, you can make them do simple things, but humans can always decide to do dumb things. Like
Right.
I do. Like I do dumb things in video games. Like like if we're playing that tail tag game, I'll do counterintuitive things to try to get a tail, you know?
No, with Fall
And
Guys, there's absolutely no way they could do it with bots, even if they
hmm,
tried. Like
exactly, it would fail.
any of the races, if it was just one human and a bunch of bots, all the bots would run in a single file line until something got in their way, and then they would
Yeah.
start moving.
And
By that
even if
point,
they
the
and even if
human
they
would be
program
way
them
ahead.
to yeah, and even if they programmed them specifically to be competitive with each other and with the human, it still wouldn't recreate the same kind of chaos that
Right.
actual people being there makes because one level can be awesome and peaceful and great. You can do slime climb and you go up there and everybody runs up and a bunch of people qualify. Like you've got like
Slime climb?
like
No.
20. Well, I've had one though. Like I've had one round where people were cool and they didn't mess with each other the entire round and stuff like that. And like a lot of people qualified, a good amount of people qualified. But I've also had rounds where people messed with other people on purpose and four people qualified or five people qualified.
I've
So
seen
it's
it
like,
just where not even people messing with each other, it's just people being there
oh yeah,
and the general,
the
course of
fact that
the
yeah.
it's an automatic elimination course on top of the fact you have to qualify.
Yeah, so it's like an obstacle course and it's an automatic elimination.
Right. If you're too slow, you're dead, and if you don't go
If
fast
you
enough
mess
to get
up,
to the end and other
yeah,
people are equally skilled, you don't
Yeah,
qualify and you're
yeah, you don't
dead.
qualify. Yeah, and you're yeah, and if you mess up, you're dead. And so like, but I've seen it like I've seen other rounds, like for example, the fruit one, like where people like didn't mess with each other at all, and it was like a long round. Like that round where actually the round that I won, I think, was a long round of that fruit one. Like, and I was lucky. Like I yeeted myself to victory. Actually, if you check my private
Yeah.
YouTube channel, which there's a link somewhere around here for mine and Curtis's YouTube channels, as well as the Good Buds podcast YouTube channel. But I have a video on there of yeeting myself to victory in Fall Guys, where that was that round where I won, and I on that fruit one it went on for a long time because people weren't really messing with each other. But I've played other ones where it did not go for a very long time because people were grabbing each other and pushing them off the edge, like like specifically knocking themselves out so that they would hit other players and knock them off the edge.
Oh yeah.
And it's like so like
They'll get
and
aggressive with it if they need to.
oh yeah, man, people get angry, man. It's like going for that last like special order Barbie doll at Christmas time, man. Like just pow,
But
like
it's one
trying to
of
get
the
it.
things that's good in the game because it
It
encourages
is.
people to win.
It is.
Because
Yes,
their
it
cosmetics
motivated
is,
me.
if you haven't played the game, the cosmetic system works in two ways. You can either use kudos, which you can buy with actual money or you earn in
Like thumbs
game,
up that you should give this video.
or you can get crowns, which you receive those through the battle pass, or you have to win games to receive them. And both of
Yeah,
those are used as currency in the cosmetic store to give yourself very cool, skins, colors, face colors, costumes, stuff like that.
which makes my heart warm that it is only cosmetic changes. Those cosmetics have no effect whatsoever on the physics of the game at all. They are purely cosmetic. There is no pay to
Absolutely.
win anything, and you can't
Except
buy crowns. You have
except
to earn them.
except for my hot rod flames. I bought hot rod flames because they were in the
That's
store and
kind of
they
true.
make me
That's kind of
faster.
true.
They automatically
Like
make me
you
faster.
know what? I don't know the science backing it up, but I've seen it in practice. Like that's the thing is I'm not a
Hot rod
scientist. I don't
flames.
know how it works. I just know that ever since he's had those hot rod flames on his butt, he has been markedly faster. At least it looks like he is. Like he's not even running yet sometimes, and I'll be like, "Man, slow down." Like and like so it's kind of weird. It's a strange phenomena. I don't know how to explain it. If you know how to explain it, hit it down in the comments. Like
I
just
know.
fire us a message because I want to know. I want to know like
Easy
what it is.
explanation, Shank. Easy explanation.
Yeah.
Hot rod flames.
Oh shit, yeah, dude, hot rod flames. Didn't even think about it that way. One second. Hot rod flames. Yeah, shit, dude. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Exactly.
Actually, you know what? You can still comment if you have some kind of
If you have any more
other,
theories, go
like if you
ahead.
have some
But
other theory down below. But we've got it. We got it locked.
otherwise, if you agree, comment down below. Hot rod flames.
Yeah, hot rod flames. If you comment hot rod flames, then we might shout you out in the next episode. We'll give you a shout out. We'll at sometime in the beginning we'll be like, this person said hot rod flames. If you have a really offensive username, we'll probably say it anyway. Just we'd
Yeah,
prefer.
shit
I mean,
happens.
shit happens. So, but like the hot rod flames. You comment it down below. Sorry, got off on a little
Okay,
tangent.
so
But he's fast. He's fast. He's a fast as fuck boy. Yeah. So like, they're just cosmetic, and it looks. But the cool thing is that they change it out frequently. You think you got the hour like the twice a day store that changes like every 8 hours or something, and
I
then you've
believe,
got
yeah,
the like
weekly.
one that's the weekly store on the top, and like, and you can, and the cool thing, you can't buy the crowns, like you said, you have to earn them. So like when you get something with crowns, it feels more like
Way better.
earned. It's like cool. And the fact that not everybody on the game is gonna have the newest skin. Like if the kudos skins and stuff like that, yeah, they might, because you can buy kudos, which I mean, let's face it, it's a free game. They got to make money somehow. That's they're gonna make
Right.
but like, and I'm cool with that. Like, because if people want to support the developers and buy DLC and they want to, they can.
Not gonna say
And
how much, but since I got
you're
the
not
game for
gonna say,
free, I
yeah.
definitely gave money for kudos.
Same here, same here. I have invested a bit of money back to the developers because I want them to keep making content. Like I think that
I
they've got
wanted a
something
ninja
fun here.
outfit.
Yeah, they got lightning. Yeah, I wanted a ninja outfit straight up, and we got it. So now we're ninjas. I do. Not only are we real life ninjas because we get to wear masks everywhere now, dude. How cool is that? We get to dress like ninjas in public now. I used to do that, and people used to say, "You're not allowed to wear mask around here, blah, 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 blah. And I'd be like, man, I just want to look like a ninja. And now I wear my mask and people are like, oh, you look like a ninja. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah,
You know, like
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
like, thank you.
Why didn't you eat?
I'm like,
Exactly. See,
I know it's lit. Like a lot of people are complaining,
I
but
have
I think it's lit.
I
I've never looked
love
better
it.
since I could cover half my face.
Same.
I've never looked better since I could cover half my face. Like so yeah, like, and that's what I mean. Like in the game, I wanted to look like a ninja, so I got some money, some kudos, and I bought some stuff because I want to support the developer, and I think you should do that with games that are good, like this one. Take your time, think about games. If you look at developer and they communicate with the community, they make changes that are important to the game. They, frequently update the game. They want to add more to it and everything like that. Support them, especially if they're doing it for free, because, it's not free to actually operate. So they got to do something. So, like, just support them a little bit. You don't need to throw $100. Don't throw $100. Like, throw $5 here and there. Like, if they come out with DLC for $5, like, that's not a big spend. You'd spend more than that on a couple of days worth of coffee, and you can still afford to get your coffee if you spend $5 on some other random, like, Happy Buy, and it'll help the developer make new levels, which I can lose at. I want to have more levels to lose on. Like, come on. Like, I want to be able to watch my homies win the game and just relax and smoke a joint.
Yeah. Does happen.
I know, right? I know. Like, and that's the thing though, is it's one of those games I don't mind losing, because when I'm playing with my friends, I can watch them, and spectate them and see how well they're doing and encourage them, and it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
It's
I
always
mean, even
it's always like communal, even though, even if you're playing against each other. And it's nice.
yeah,
It's nice that at least they have it fixed where if you're in a party with somebody, you're on the same team as them always in any of the team events. Like team tail tag, any of the ball rolling events.
yeah, the ball rolling, yeah,
You're always on a team with your party
yeah.
at least, which is nice. It doesn't pit you against them at any point. So
Yeah,
I do like that factor, and they definitely have stuff that they said they're working on, like you said before. But I don't know. There's high potential for the game to be way, way better, and I think they're working towards it. Just gotta wait and
yeah,
see. But I like it.
I know, yeah,
I
yeah.
like it right now as is.
I'm sure it will be mentioned in future episodes of this podcast. We'll probably talk about it, and as they update the game and change it and stuff like that, because I definitely really love it.
And we'll definitely
And it's
talk
something
about.
that, yeah.
We'll definitely talk about other games we're also playing and other games we like.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Go ahead and comment down below any games you like, you're playing, and if you're liking Fall Guys, tell us your opinions on it. How many times have
Yeah,
you
sure,
won?
yeah.
How many crowns you got? You think you're better
how
than
many
me?
times you got?
What you got, son? I'll take you
What
on the
you got,
whirly gig any day.
son?
The whirly gig will come for you, brother.
The whirligig will end your days, child. Whirligig.
I'll meet you on the fruit shoot, take you down Fall Mountain any day, boy.
When you open the doors of the whirligig.
Oh my God, bro! Coffee, morning now.
Yeah, coffee, morning, now. Dear God. But yeah, man, like that's absolutely phenomenal. Like, and I do enjoy it, and I think like Curtis was saying, comment below if you have any games you enjoy, because we are avid gamers on any platform. We fully support your endeavors to play games and distract yourself from the scariness that is 2020.
Yeah.
We all need it. Everybody talks about mental health during the pandemic and during isolation and stuff like that. A good way to avoid isolation is the same way that I avoid isolation and have avoided isolation since even well before the pandemic happened. Get online, play with your friends, talk to people, get in a party on PlayStation, get in a party on Xbox, get in a party on computer, whatever you got to do. Call them on Skype on your phone, whatever, and just game with your homies.
Even if you
it's
don't,
a great way. Yeah.
Even if you don't have a game, definitely go on some online forums. Definitely browse Reddit, find some communities that you might belong to. For example, I fucking have joined the Bloodborne community. I'm an avid player of Bloodborne, and I love it. And the community is always active, and it's always nice to get on there. You don't even have to comment all the time. Just you find one comment where it's just like, you know what? I'm gonna post on there, and then you just find so many people who are just like, yeah, good for you. Yeah, it's nice validation for a couple minutes.
It
Definitely.
is, and online socialization it's always been a valid form of, like, actually Curtis and I, we met each other purely online. We've only ever talked online, aside from when I get married, when eventually the borders reopen after things calm down a little bit more and we can find a safe way to do so. He's going to be coming up here for my wedding, and that's when we're going to meet in person. But we've actually we've been extensively online friends, and he is one of my best friends. Like, absolutely. And so,
I would
so
gladly
online,
say the same thing about Shank.
yeah. And so it's online socialization is definitely a valid form of socialization. If anybody tells you otherwise, they're definitely wrong. But that doesn't mean social media like Facebook that doesn't count. Like that's not what I would refer to as socialization. When you're on Facebook, people are putting stuff up that's like an idealized version of their life, or they're putting up dramatic moments in their life, and you're getting snapshots. That's not actual interaction. You got to talk to people,
No problem
play
with
something real time.
no problem with keeping up on your memories
Yeah,
and keeping up
keep up.
on
Yeah,
knowledge of
Facebook
that,
is
but
good for
if you're going
all
to
of that.
interact with people, talk to them,
Talk to
message
them.
them,
Yeah, like
let
yeah,
them know.
message them. Like yeah, just chat. Just chat. We got to get back to the days of chat, because I remember when I was younger, back in the old days of my youth. Back in the days of my youth, in the year 1952, when the Germans stole the number 20. Basically, when I was younger, like we used ICQ and then like Facebook Messenger and Trinity and stuff like that, and all these weird messenger programs, and we talked all the time. We chatted to each other and messaged each other, and we'd make friends on MySpace and like talk to them like from halfway around
AOL,
the world.
AIM.
AOL, yeah, and whatever, yeah, all that, right? And like, and it was big, it was huge, and we would communicate, we would talk regularly, and now it's come to the point where the most communication and interaction that people seem to have with each other is commenting on a picture or commenting on a status or something like that, right? We don't actually take time to just open up that messenger window, type out something, and be like, hey, how you doing today? You know, and more of that during the social isolation is going to be great for everyone's mental health. It's been great for mine.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean,
Absolutely.
by far, I would not like to claim on this podcast or anywhere else that I am the most mentally stable individual in the world, but communication and socialization online has vastly helped with that.
As long as you're doing it safely and you're not under any legal age and you're not talking to somebody who's actually 34 and named Timmy.
Exactly. Just make sure. Yeah, yeah. That is a
What
good
I'm saying
PSA
is
to
do it
make. The
safely.
funny voice. That is a good PSA. The funny voice does not diminish the message at all.
Absolutely.
It's a good idea. It's a good thing. Just be careful who you're
Interact
interacting
safely.
with, and interact safely. Don't give away any of your information. Watch out for scammers. They're really easy to spot if you're not gullible. Just don't buy. Just be friendly. Just if you come across someone, chances are if you're playing a game and you come across another player and you have an opportunity to be a toxic gamer and you choose not to, that other player will appreciate that and reciprocate that back. They'll do the
Exactly.
same thing. It's like those moments that you see. I don't really like Fortnite. Like Curtis was
Right.
saying, he was attracted to it initially. I was only attracted to it for the prospect of playing with you guys, because
Yeah.
I enjoy playing games that you guys like. It wasn't really ever my cup of
Yeah.
tea, but I had fun playing it because I played it with you guys. And I even put up some videos on my YouTube channel because it was easy for content. And
But hey,
but anyway, like I digress. With Fortnite as a good example, like I've seen a lot of videos of players being disgustingly toxic. Like shooting somebody, like going over spray painting where their body was on the ground, then dancing above it, then doing
yeah.
the same thing to a bunch of people, and literally just steamrolling new players at the game, and like they're clearly struggling. But I've also seen the opposite end of the spectrum, which is what I like to emulate when I play, is other players that they don't purposely do toxic things. Like I like to kind of make it so that like they'll go and they'll see another player who's running around with the pickaxe and like struggling obviously, and they'll run over to them and like drop a gun or drop a health pack and be like, just do an emote and then run away, and just like that kind of thing. Like, and I've seen streamers doing it, which is awesome. They'll be like, well, they go, here, dude, here, take some of this, take some goods, take some meds, everything, have a good day. And then they'll like run away and like just leave the dude and let him go, like to actually have a chance, right? But being faced with that kind of a choice and choosing to be toxic will never make you friends online. And if it does, it makes you the wrong kind of friends. So just be a cool gamer and you'll make all kinds of friends online. And like that's how Curtis and I became friends. Like he wasn't toxic and bad, so we played together and enjoyed it. And I was bad, but I wasn't toxic,
Yeah.
Still, still am bad, kind of. Yeah, still am bad, kind of.
Uh,
So, are we looking for time, brother?
uh, well, it looks like we're getting close to our deadline today.
Oh, there you go, man.
Well,
There you go.
shit.
Oh, shit.
Well, bro, I guess we'll roll one for the road, and thanks for listening, guys. I guess we will see you next week.
Yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and yell about this at random homeless people. But also, when you're yelling about them, don't film it because only assholes on YouTube do that.
And of course, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the fun stuff. Thanks, guys.
Links in the description.
Have a good one. Later, buds.
Later, buds.